Okay. All right. So we're on the new live stream. That was a first. YouTube is uploading. YouTube is updating. Try again later. What is that? That's the first time I've ever gotten an update on YouTube, and so it kicks you out of the live stream. Whatever, dude. Um, where were we at? All right, so I answered DP's question. Uh, yeah, I don't know. Ninja Squid, yeah, yeah, I don't know what happened with that. It's still frozen over there. Okay. Have I tried quasi isometrics? I have not. Elemental Bending Master. That is the best name. Um, Rinkuna, what are good ways? What are good ways to program yielding isos for clients? Having them do a lift to 1 to 3 RIR and then do a yielding hold. Mm. Um, you can go a couple of ways with that, Rinkuna. So I prefer to have the yielding isos near the end. That's just me. There are plenty of ways to do it. If you want the whole program to be yielding isos, you can have it uh, pep throughout the session and literally have everything be a yielding ISO. So it's like, okay, Susan, we're gonna do 3 sets of 10 shoulder press today. Um, our our RPE. I'm just tripping. I was like RPE. RPE is gonna be a 6 or 7, and I want us to do the same shoulder press we were doing, and I just want us to hold it here, 1, 2, 3, and then control, push up, concentric, eccentric, 1, 2, 3, control. Does that make sense? And then she'll be like, okay, and you go through the set, and you can do that for all of them throughout your entire session. That is an option, or you can go the way I like to do it, which is you get your dynamic done, and then you end their session with the yielding. So this is when they're already burnt out. They have like 20% left in the tank, and you likely will need to use a lighter load for this. Um, and from there, that is honestly probably one of the safest ways for your client to burn out. Um, I prefer to have them do yielding iso calisthenics at the end. So like I'm just gonna use this as an example. Like let's just say we're doing like a core workout for like half an hour, just absolutely just insane, just core stuff dynamically, and then we're like, okay, at the end I'm gonna have you do planks to failure. I'm gonna have you do 6 inches isometric hold to failure. I'm gonna have you do a sit up hold till failure. So like I would be holding their feet, and I just want them to come up and do a sit up and hold that contraction for as long as they can. And then when their abs finally give out, their back's gonna hit the floor safely, of course. That's how I prefer to program yielding isometrics into my client's routine. And I have found really good results from that. I do find that their strength does tend to grow quicker. The only reason I tend not to perform program them like that is if they have some type of injury that we're working around. But other than that, that is how I program them. I had one recently. Matter of fact, it was the same client that I was telling about the OI with the bicep, where I did have her do a isometric uh, program for her push day, where about 90% of it was yielding ISO with dumbbells, and it worked. it worked well. I believe that what the issue was with that particular, the macros were not that great. Just, they just weren't that great. So it's not really optimally taking advantage of the program. You guys know, like, eating is 80% of your training. So if you're not eating well, then you're not fueling fueling your Ferrari with um freaking 87 unleaded, dude. You need premium. um all right, so let me get through these last couple questions on the old stream before I get to the ones that I see are popping up on the new stream. Probably have about, I'm gonna go till 10. It's 9:54 right now. Ninja Squid says, "What are your thoughts on the first thing Bruce would do if Tyson got into his space? He pops his knee out with the lead leg sidekick." You talking about one of my favorite legends, bro? I don't know, man. Here's the thing. Now, I'm definitely no excuse me. I'm definitely no combat expert. So, I really am a huge proponent in staying in your lane. So I really know how to talk about fitness. I really know how to talk about that. But I am not a martial arts uh, proficient. I can only speculate. Bruce's is to stay away from Tyson. Tyson is also an experienced combat. I'm assuming you're talking about Tyson in his prime. He's an experienced combatant. Tyson outweighs Bruce like by twice. And there is still physics, right? So, so personally, like, I like to use this reference, right? You're on the highway. There are three things, and better one. Actually, no. Yeah, let's use the highway one because I like the train one, but I think you guys know where I'm going. You're on a highway. You're dead either way once you get hit by this vehicle at 60 miles an hour. You're dead. The first one is a car. So a car weighs anywhere between like 3,000 to 4,000. Well, these days they're all heavy, so 3,000 to 5,000 pounds, right? That's you're doing a whole bunch of somersaults. Sorry to get graphic. You're gone. You're gone. You're done. Um, at 60 miles an hour on the highway. Option two, there is a tractor trailer. Significantly heavier. We are talking tons. You're not only dead, you are mush. You are mush. They have to fish pieces of your body out of the grill of that Mack truck. Both were going 60 miles an hour. Do not get hit by the Mack truck. Right? So again, dead either way, but because of physics, the object with larger mass is going to destroy you. So Bruce Lee's job is get out of the way. Use your power. You have incredible power for that 135. You have to use it wisely. Do not get hit. One slip and it's all over. That's why martial arts is the equalizer, right? So your skills have to be on par. It's pretty much a battle of skill versus power. The only thing that makes Tyson unique is that he's not just a big power lifter. He's a trained combatant that outweighs him by X amount. Do I know how that would go? No. Do I love Bruce Lee? Of course. I don't know. I would assume that Bruce Lee would try and keep his distance and find the optimal time to use his skills to break him down piece by piece. But even that could be wrong. So, and again, that's why I'm not really the guy to ask. I'm just going based off of what I know about power production, about his incredible skills. I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say I'd assume he'd use it wisely and pray that he does not get hit by that truck. Let's see. Rikuna likes the idea of using it at the end. Bet. And again, Rikuna using the isometrics at the end is only one of the many methods that you can use. Excuse me here while I pull up the other live stream. Um, this is so weird. And I'm gonna get to these next questions right now. Huh, it's not even showing up, so I'm just gonna read them off of here. That's so annoying. Why is YouTube being so annoying? Maybe this is the update they were talking about. Okay. So Ninja Squid says, I only do uh-oh, losing this. And everything's failing today. Oh, jeez. Excellent live streaming abilities. And that was my elbow. I only do 10 hanging sit-ups with 20 kg every 4 days, but I take as long as humanly possible in the bringing in and lowering phase. So the concentric and eccentric phase. So slow concentric, slow eccentric phase. Okay. So a lot of tension, which is good. If you really want to optimize that, then you can also increase the duration on the isometric portion of that. So now you're getting all the benefits to your connective tissues as well. Rikuna diet does tend to be the most consistent issues I see. Yeah, I mean across the board, and I really don't see that switching up for quite some time. You know, I've been training since 2016, and the number one issue by such a staggering margin. This is not just for me. This is across the board for personal training. Is the diet, and I've seen transformations that will blow your mind as soon as people get the eating down. Like they just become a different person. It really is about putting premium fuel into your body. Now, of course, you have to optimize it. Like you can put premium fuel in your body and then work half-assed, and then you're still not going to get optimal results. But you know that combination is really second to none. Chris, it's the first time I've made it to a live. What's up, Anthony? Thank you for all your excellent work. No problem. I've had trouble setting up the belt squat to target quads. Any suggestions? Is it with the forearm forklift one from like 2 years ago? If it is, I've found that like really positioning yourself. It's been a while since I've done that. How did I do that? So I had to. It was like squeezing the living crap, probably literally, out of my stomach. But I mean, but I did feel it though. That's the thing. I did feel it. I would say try and position yourself to where you're almost like above the chair or couch or whatever when you have your belt strap set up, belt squat set up. And then just drive through the heels and like kind of like push, like not like you're pushing up, because if you push up you're gonna push backwards, but if you push up and slightly to the front like this, I mean I felt the heck out of my quads when I was doing that. Why did I stop doing that? Because I got that squat harness. That's right. Still really good though. I still have the forearm forklift straps in the basement. OI bell squat. Yep, I've made my own chain and bar system, by the way. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yes. Let me know if that makes sense, Anthony. What's a solid diet for running? Probably a good mix of protein and carbs. Carbs is the energy, so you need the energy. Protein, you just your body's weight in protein is a good it's a good default to fall back on. It's just like if you weigh 160 pounds, you should probably be intaking 160 pounds in daily in grams for protein. Though, believe it or not, this was kind of depressing. So I take continuing eds for my personal training cert, and the new study is, what did they say, 2.2 grams, up to 2.2 grams per body's weight in protein. I'm like, dude, I can't. I can't. Unless like all my meals are just so freaking protein dense. Um, but and the initial of that range was higher too, so it didn't go to one to one. It was like 1.5. I'd have to find it, but um, what was that? 2024, beginning of 2024 when that study came out. Yes, fitness world is always changing, as they say. Uh, no dip belt. A forward lean. Yeah, yep, forward lean. Anthony. Yep, give that a shot. Are shakes a viable substitute to get that protein in? Yeah, it can be expensive though. Um, I would just say look at the other macros to make sure that you're not going over on any other macros. Uh, but if your diet get here, the what I like to say is like if your diet is getting the macros in, there's really no need to supplement with protein shakes. But if your diet does not, like, let's say if your natural diet gets you to like 80% that protein shake in. That's what it's there for. Could you do a video covering OI for calisthenics? Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Gotta, yeah, and so do I. I think I went about 15 minutes over. So I got a dip. Haha, dip. Um, I will catch you guys. What was today? July 27th. It's definitely not going to be 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. 2 to 3 weeks is what I'll do the next one. Because we're getting in that red zone. By the way, the wedding's in August, so um, I will do my best to keep uploads consistent. The new vid drops this week. I might be able to get two this week. I might be able to. Because I'm almost done with this other one. And if you just joined the stream now, it's an Alexander Zass video. So excited about that. All right, guys, love you. Been awesome. Appreciate your support over the years. If you're new, appreciate your support. Catch you next one.